The following is a World-Class Bullshitters exclusive.
I feel like I'm living in a nightmare. One where I can't escape the Eternals and Shang-Chi and all the people from Black Panther. It's like I'm living in Ollie's, except I'm not. Folks, join me today as we go out into the real world to see what happens to the Ollie's merchandise when they try to take it and resell it amongst normal merchandise. Folks, this situation is so bad, in fact, that they have to put it in a special subsection so they don't mix it in with the good merchandise and get any of its stink on it. And yeah, these bastards are quite stinky. You know what happens when you rot for 3 years on the shelves. Let's go take a look at that. Before we do, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to WCBS with your bell notification turned on to all. And if you want more world-class content, go to patreon.com/worldclassbs. So we start today's journey at the Lexington Comic and Toy Show, and what do we see? Toys in Lexington. But we see Funko Pops, and you know how I feel about those. Let's zoom out so you don't have to look at them as close, but you can see there's a lot of them. In fact, here's an entire booth dedicated to those creepy little bastards. But you know what? We're just gonna walk on by next to those people from some show that I've never watched before. Now, folks, if you didn't have a chance to come out and hang out with us at the con, you missed out. We brought Wokebusters, we had a lot of fun, there was this bitchin' amazing Spider-Man art. You just missed out on a great time. Lots of comics, lots of toys, all world class when we're there. So taking an elevated look at the comic books. Now, I'm a diehard collector, and if you're a patron or a member, you can watch the Spider-Man collection, and well, I'll show you more of that as I build it up. But let's take a look back here, because there are a lot, and I do mean a lot of toys here. There's a lot of cosplay too. Folks in the chat, if you want to tell me some of your favorite, like the guy from Starship Troopers, let me know. But we're here to take a look at this Ghostbusters sign. And what do we got over here? Stuff from anime that I don't watch, and Funko Pops. Ooh, it's stuff from Rob Zombie. But here we go. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. There's Bill. I have the stuff from the Excellent Adventure figure line, but not that one. You know, I didn't really grow up playing with them, but I get nostalgic for the Todd McFarlane Spawn stuff. There's just something about it I can't put my finger on. Man, Power Rangers minus Jason is just wrong. I mean, you could say that about Tommy, but, I mean, come on, you need all five. What the hell is a leech woman? And I don't need to know any more about it. This is a YouTube video, folks. If you want to know more about Leech Woman, well, join us on Patreon, where we might talk about it. So let's zoom in and look at some of these NECA figures as well as other collectibles. And let's get out of this booth. Wonderful booth, great people who run it, but this is a con and you gotta keep moving, or else the guy from Borderlands will kick you in the teeth and yell at you. For as well versed as I am in so many things here on the channel, I look at a lot of the stuff from Japan and I go, okay, and I walk away. I don't know the characters. If it's not Goku, okay, I know a lot more than I know Dragon Ball Z, or just Dragon Ball Z, but come on now. Hey, there's Deadpool. Moving on. Let's take a look at this comic book shop, shall we? I see some familiar covers. I see some familiar Star Wars action figures. I feel like I'm at home. There's a Return of the Jedi book. We got Iron Fist, some old Jack Kirby work. Exciting stuff. What do we have over here? I heard it on good authority that there was an autograph of The Rock. And, well, there's Taylor Swift's autograph. You should pay me to take that. But there's The Rock's autograph, and I'm not paying $500 for The Rock's autograph, even though I'm a fan. What's to my left? More Funko Pops. I would love to work a con that is Funko Pop free. I'd like to host a con, no Funko Pops. That's the name of the con. What do you sell? Anything but Funko Pops, including tackle, sushi, dirt, shoes, you name it. That guy dressed as Jeff Hardy, he's welcome there too, but not the Funko Pops. Ooh, now here we go. This is a pop culture haven right here. We got Hot Toys dolls. Ooh, the creme de la creme of collectibles. Now it's the new Captain America. Let's not look at him, shall we? Doctor Strange, Star Wars, Avatar-ed. It's all here. It's all Hot Toys. It's all quality. You get what you pay for here. And they even got stuff from Wakanda Forever on shelves. Even at the high end, people are not buying stuff from that movie. Oh, the racism. Hi, Deadpool. That's the most on-brand thing, selling a severed Deadpool head. I love it. Now let's take a look. We got some McFarlane figures. What do we got here? Ooh, an original, well, second release DC Direct Batman the Animated Series. And we have another one right there as well. You know, the funny thing is, I was looking for that Superman figure, and I didn't realize it was here at the con, and I didn't buy it. Now, the figures below are each $8, but you'll notice that the figures below come from Ollie's. I see Eternals, House of M, Ant-Man, What If. These are all Ollie's figures down here on the bottom of the table, because your merchandise is too good to share space with Icarus. Yeah, I'm looking for an Ollie sticker to see if they just took it and brought it here. I mean, it's a good business model. No hustle knocked. But there's a reason why they're put underneath the table. You're just not good enough to dine with everybody else. Another sign. Thor Love and Thunder, that comes from Ollie's. These come from Ollie. Thor was at Ollie's. Go back and watch our old videos. Mandalorian's toys, all from Ollie's. Hey, again, if you can buy figures for $4 and double your price and still be a great bargain value for people, hey, I can't blame you. So I'm a big Jim Lee fan. I think he's one of the greatest living comic book artists, and they have this special artist series for a Batman action figure. Now, I'd rather just get an original piece of Jim Lee artwork, but not at that price. WW East. What a great box set. Now, these Maximum Sweat figures are kind of creepy. Maybe one day, if I get one, I'll do a little video on it. $100 for Spider-Man. I got a lot of these issues. I don't know if I have the first Rhino. I need to check my spreadsheet when I go to these things. But that's the problem. I can't really check my spreadsheet because I'll buy everything in sight. And these are work trips. I'm here to promote the channel and the books and meet people and network with channels and celebrities. Not buy up action figures and comic books all day long, because you know I will, and I gotta be stopped. There are weapons and lightsabers at this booth. Let's take a look at these swords, these axes if you will. This one looks like a hoe. Thundercats hoe, that is. Folks in the chat, press 1 if you are a Thundercats kid. A little before my time, but still respect the era that it comes from. Lots of lazy cosplay these days. If it's in a bathrobe form, you know you're going to call yourself a Jedi, the Dude, or whatever else it may be. Official wrestling figures for people that don't have a contract with WWE, like Jack Tunney, who is dead. Or Andre the Giant, who does actually have a contract. You know what? Let's just look at these wrestling figures and move on, shall we? But there's that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure I was telling you about. I do have that Ted Theodore Logan action figure. Ugh, Funko Pops. Power Rangers Legacy stuff. I prefer the original. I still have the original. But hey, if you're not fortunate enough to have been around back then, well, you're at least fortunate enough not to have... You don't have to buy Funko Pops, people. I'm sorry. I get really angry when I see these damn things. Let them go away. Let them rot. They're not as good as... I mean, they just don't even look like the actors, but at least there's some soul to them. Okay, the Jonathan Frakes looked like him, but the Marina Sirtis, that's not who that was. By the way, folks, if you like this toy collection, you can check out My Life in Toys where I go to this store, the toy department. Everybody was cool at the con, everybody's cool at the store, and the selection is ridiculously good. Now let's see who else we got back in here. Now, all these are video games, but there was one that caught my eye earlier in the weekend, and here it is, WrestleMania 2000. Let's take a look at it. This bad boy was $50, and it's pretty much new, minus it being played, but I still have my original one. There's Kel Mitchell from Good Burger. He was a cool guy. I talked to him for a couple of minutes. There are some Power Rangers to my left. Jim Shooter, the editor-in-chief of Marvel during the 1980s. He was over to my left as well. I don't know this woman who just stood in front of me. Let's get away from that woman. I don't know you personally. I don't know anybody. Well, okay, I knew quite a few people at this con. I knew Velma, Jinkies. And look, there's that guy and that guy. And there were a lot of furries at this show, folks. There was furries and strippers, and there's me walking around looking bored too. Yeah, I can't imagine what I see. Actually, I wasn't bored at all. I'm just very surprised with what's out here. So we had some Lord of the Rings and some vintage Star Wars figures. I don't collect either of these things anymore. Never collected Lord of the Rings, to be honest with you. But there's just a nostalgic charm to these vintage Star Wars figures. But when you see them at a con like this, like every 20 feet there's a vintage big head Han Solo, and you're just like, oh, these aren't that rare. These are everywhere. They're just expensive. Let's take a nice elevated view of this room. Again, we have Jeff Hardy. That guy's wearing an HBK sweater. He thought I was security at the show the night before. He got scared when I walked up to him to talk about his sweater. But that's what happens at cons, folks. I'm a giant in a suit, and people are afraid of me. Ah, Star Wars. Let's skip it. Over here, we have some of the re-released Ghostbusters figures, Xena Warrior Princess Spawn. It's so funny what we're nostalgic for as a collecting community. The stuff that I saw as a kid and passed up and still kind of pass up as an adult. But hey, more power to you. Now, folks, if you weren't keeping track, that's the 19th Deadpool we've seen today. That's kind of low for this con. I had to stop over to check out this original Red Ranger from the Automorphin Fliphead line. We got half a Darth Maul, some Disney Adventures. This is a very eclectic mix of a booth, but I gotta say I like it. Especially up here, they have these vintage Dragon Ball Z figures. These would come out back in the 90s to America, and I would see them at these little kiosks in the mall and think, wow, those are so cool, they're from Japan. And then, you know, you get one and their arms move, and that's about it. Talk about a letdown. Honey dick of a toy, if you ask me. You know, 11-year-old Jeff did not appreciate that. 36-year-old Jeff does not appreciate Funko Pops, and neither does Loki. Let's just keep on walking through, shall we? Again, I've picked up some strangers during my walk. Don't know them. We'll never see them again. Moving left. Let's move on. More bathrobes. It wasn't that warm of a day out, but you know, I guess a bathrobe will suffice. This is the winner of the con, the blind mystery box. I saw so many people carrying those out. Yeah, the mystery sells. Just like I'm mysteriously wondering what that woman was talking about. Quite the gesticulation. Now, they made stuff out of wire here. I thought this was pretty neat. You have Angels, you have Spider-Man, you have He-Man, the Ninja Turtles are right there. There's just all sorts of neat stuff. And I love going to a con. Yes, to meet you folks. Yes, to sell the books. Yes, to promote the channel. But it's neat to see what other people are making and bringing. Because you're not seeing this stuff at Walmart or Target or Ollie's. You're not. You're just seeing creativity. And I respect that. There's an asshole in a flannel. Move it, asshole in a flannel. So this is an Ewok doll from the 80s. That's pretty much all I need to say. There's an Ewok doll from the 80s. There's Ash from Pokemon as well, hanging out with Pikachu in this very, very, very busy toy booth. So we're going to get in where we fit in here, folks. Then again, I'm also 6'5", so most people don't fit next to me. But what do we got back here? We got statues, we got Tom and Jerry, Superman, the Predator, Hulkbuster, and more. Again, anytime you comment on about 3 or 4 things you see at a con, it sounds like you're setting up a really bad bar joke. Doc Ock, an Ewok, and let's pick another one. Hello Kitty walk into a bar. What kind of bar? What's the story? You tell me in the chat. I don't get it. So as we fly through the canyons of all these collectibles, we find ourselves looking at, I guess, squishy versions of people from One Piece and the Black Plague and mystery bags. You know, I'm going to go to a con and I'm going to do blind bag mysteries and see how much I can sell. I'm just going to take random shit from my office and be like, hey, congratulations, you paid $60 for a pair of sunglasses that I wore to WrestleMania 40. You think that'll work? To be honest, I have so much shit in this collectible collection, I could do blind boxes for a couple of years. Maybe we'll do one for fun. Now, yes, this is a Pedro Pascal booth. That is not a joke. They show up all over the country and make Pedro Pascal shit. That lady was, excited over it. I had to go look at these toys because we have Super Mario figures, and Sonic figures, and the Ghostbusters. I really want this part of my childhood to end. I know I don't have to buy the Power Rangers, and I don't buy the Power Rangers, but I would like to miss them again. They're everywhere. Like that guy, he's like a Funko Pop. Bro, they're everywhere. You don't want a Funko Pop. You don't need a Funko Pop. You just pass them up. You can just see the tiredness on the face of the con-goers for the last day. Everybody's exhausted. Everybody's ready to go. But people are also ready to buy. This is when I bought some stuff. I never buy on day 1, but I like to go in day 3, buy too much crap. A universe of model kits and more. What is and more? Like a Hush Puppy? Or a box of used pinball machine parts? Ain't those damn Funko Pops that are next to me. I'm sorry, folks. I gotta calm down. I really think Funko Pops are dumb. They always say with music, if it's too loud, you're too old. Well, have I always been too old for Funko Pops? I think I'm too smart for Funko Pops, or at least too sophisticated. Hold it against me. I like my action figures to look like the thing that I want to buy. If I buy Iron Man, it should look like Robert Downey Jr. If I buy Batman, it should look like Michael Keaton. If I buy a sword, it should look like a sword. And those look like swords. Wait a second. That's not a sword. That's a dagger. One that can call a giant dragon. I still have my original one on the shelf. It was hard not taking home a Legend of Zelda sword, by the way. I don't have anything in the collection like that, but I feel like I need it one of these days. So again, we're picking up randos at the con. Not really my bag, but I'm just trying to get through all of this stuff. Now, to the left were all these blind boxes, and these people were going nuts for these blind boxes. Also, too, I didn't realize that Pokemon cards were in demand, or still a thing. This is when I feel old. I make videos, I talk about pop culture, I know what's out there. I guess because I figure this stuff is so far in the past that I don't think about it anymore. By the way, I did have some of that chocolate at the con. They were giving out samples. It was decadent, and Nick went home with a couple boxes of truffles. Ask Nick on the podcast how his truffles were. He'll tell you. Now, these are some newer Marvel Legends and some ones that people actually want, like the stuff from No Way Home. Not a lot of Ollie's crossover here, because these are new figures, but let's take a look inside, shall we? Now, this is what I'm talking about. Legends as far as the eye can see. And I don't see a single Eternal right here. Now, let's just look away before I do run into one. What do we got here? Ooh, Freakazoid on DVD. I'm about that life. The head. I should have bought the head. What do we got here? Ah, the New Adventures of Johnny Quest. I was looking for the original Johnny Quest. I guess I could just buy the real official Blu-ray release instead of a bootleg. So this is a whole section of more bootleg Blu-rays and DVDs. We got Star Wars Holiday Special. I believe we have the Star Wars Despecialized editions down here, which are cool to see. Oh, what did I knock over? Nothing. For a second, I thought that Copper Coast logo was a Dreamcast logo, and that Sega was bringing back the Dreamcast. Well, let me dream. I had to elbow my way through all these people. Clearly, I've left a wake of bodies in my path. Oh, there's a Black Panther. That's one Ollie's figure. Mark it 10, dude. Some would argue mark it to 0 because those figures are zeros, but I just want points for something. Again, I have no idea what half of these people are dressed up as. I just smile and walk on by. For every dude in a cape, a cloak, or a girdle, I just keep on walking. You know, if the A-Team was a secret clandestine underground group of ex-military operatives, why would their license plate say A-Team? The whole point is if you can find them. Well, it's pretty easy to find them if you see the license plate that says A-Team. I guess it was the 80s, it was a simpler time, we didn't think of that stuff. Yeah, let's not worry about it. Let's just look at these Japanese collectibles, shall we? It's funny, this looks like the most dead part of the con, but there is actually some sweet stuff over here. And we're not done looking at the Ollie's figures. Regal Cinemas just had a booth here. You could get free posters and shit from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, they've been sitting on those posters for 11 years, and now they're giving them away for free at a comic expo. Talk about a hit. Speaking of hit, this price hit just right, and this is what I picked up right here. Beetlejuice in the striped suit for a whopping $20. I even told these guys, thanks. You're one of the only booths that keeps your prices affordable. That's why I bought from them. See, folks, I have a new series I'm working at called How to Save Money as a Collector, and it's going to go very in-depth. It's not just going to be about action figures or hot toys or games or comic books. It's going to cover all. It's a multi-part series, and it can go on for as long as it needs to. But I do pay attention to the value of these things, and as a collector myself, well, that's important to me. These life-size or scaled replicas of the Never-Ending Story are also important to me, but not this dude in the gray sweatshirt. I don't know him. Nor do I know the lady in the t-shirt. Excuse me, the TV head. I don't know anybody here. Now this booth was what was up. This guy had everything. We're going to take a flying view right past it. Look at some of these arts pieces, I guess. I don't know how you refer to them. It's just art somebody made. It looks pretty cool. But let's take a look at these vintage action figures. We got, man, vintage Toy Biz Marvel. And now I'm getting nostalgic for the shit. That was my first Captain America figure. My grandma bought me that in a Kmart. I remember it very well. Still have it somewhere. Don't have the shield to go with it. $115 for The Amazing Spider-Man? There aren't even 115 people that like that movie left on the planet. Who would buy that? Somebody would buy that. What people aren't buying too much of are the Star Wars toys. Hey, look, stuff from Ollie's is $8. All these wonderful figures that, well, some of them... Hey, the Acolyte! Great! I'm glad they're featured right there in the middle, prominently. That does not look like Miss Jacqueline. That is supposed to be the lady on the box, but it's not. I remember seeing that at Toys R Us and laughing at it because it doesn't look real. Bailey kind of looks like Bailey. The Godwins look like shit, so that's fairly accurate. Now, let's look at this, shall we? Sale, all below $10 each or 3 for $25. And what are they all? Disney Star Wars toys that could not sell. Even people that run booths at cons who will sell you anything want to get rid of this shit because they are taking a bath on it. And it looks like people aren't buying. Look, we got stuff from Episode 9, Solo: A Star Wars Story, Rogue One, you name it, it's here at the con. And down here, they got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and a bunch of other stuff too, because it doesn't deserve shelf space. If they're gonna sell it, they're gonna put it in a garbage can next to the booth. So folks, what do you think about this situation? The fact that, yeah, we can go into Ollie's and see that this shit doesn't sell, but then when industrious individuals want to go into Ollie's and buy up the figures to resell, or they have the same exact merchandise that they've been stuck with for years, and now they're trying to move it at these cons. And I don't knock any of those people. I have no issue with them, but it makes me laugh that no matter what you do, no matter where you go, No one will buy into the unsellable mountain of Disney crap at any retail space in these 48 continental United States. There are 2 more, we're not contiguously linked, but I don't know if there's any Ollies in Hawaii or any Ollies in Alaska. But if there are, I will be there in the future, because folks, I am gearing up for this summer's Ollie's road trip. How many Ollies am I going to hit? My goal is to hit all of them. Will I succeed? Well, I have a map in a car, so I'm gonna be all right. But you can join me right alongside me. Each and every week we go into one of these stores, we'll have videos, and maybe we'll even do a fun little live stream on the road. But folks, I'm gonna get out of here. You've enjoyed this video, I've enjoyed making this video, and now it's time to get on to the next one. So, if you missed it, and I don't think a lot of you have because I'm looking at the numbers, make sure you check out our most recent trip to Ollie's. I think the toy prices are going up, but I can't talk about that here. You gotta watch the video proper to get that. But be on the lookout for Stealing Solo 2. So until then, folks, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.